I don't think I really traveled when I was growing up, not really. So it is something that I wanted to do just as a social practice, right? To just hang out with my homegirls and just, um, kick it like that. But since I've become an educator, and especially when I went to the Schomburg Center and I looked at some Malcolm X archives that discussed his travels, I became really, really interested in how travel actually is a Black rhetorical practice and what that means for Black people.
Have you been able to begin to answer that question? What is it about being Black and traveling while Black, traveling, bringing into a new space your Blackness and whatever that means to you that really is significant? Have you been able to answer that question?
I've been trying to travel myself and just to expand my thinking so that I can begin to answer that question. For example, in the spring, I took my graduate students to the Schomburg Center
Okay.
in New York, and that was when we looked at the archives. And my thinking was that as future scholars, that as future professors and instructors, they needed to think about places and spaces outside of their actual formal education spaces as sites of teaching and sites of learning.
I taught social studies. I taught social studies and English language arts. And certainly as I'm teaching, I'm just imagining these different places.
Yeah.
And I felt like it gives a lot more credence when you can say you've seen with
Right.
your eyes this or that or a similar experience. I haven't been this place, but I've been here.
Right.
I've
Yeah.
seen these people, but I've seen these people. I felt like it would literally improve my practice in addition
Mm,
to being something that I wanted to do. As you stated, I just wanted to hang out with my friends, my
mhm.
family, but I started to see the value in other people who are in different aspects of education. For example, you're a professor. So the professors that go with us, that focus is a little different because you're most likely thinking about publication, you're thinking
Mhm.
about ways to conduct research. Whereas classroom teachers, when they travel with us, they might be thinking about just improving their practice.
Right.
So their focus is different. Administrators who travel with us, they're thinking about, well, how is this going to really play out with my teachers that work in my school? How
Mm,
might some things I learn improve the school culture? Or any and all of those people might be thinking about my life outside of
mm.
my work.
Yeah.
So how do I get centered? How do I have a better work-life balance? How do I get some information that's going to help me in my retirement or after I finish this particular work that I'm doing? So um, I'm happy to say as the organization is growing and as we're doing more things, we are having more of an impact on people in ways that I didn't even necessarily think would happen.
Mhm. There was so much to that Morocco trip. I don't even know um, if I can condense it. I know we went to so many places. It was 15 days. And most of those days, or a substantial number of those days, we were traveling from place to place. So if we weren't in Fez, then we were in Marrakesh. If we weren't in Marrakesh, then we were in the Atlas Mountains. If we weren't there, we were in the Sahara Desert riding camels. So, I mean, there was so much um, cultural exposure, and our guide, being a native, he was able to help us think about things and see things, experience things that we never could have. One thing that we did that I found the most, the thing that one of the things that really impacted me the most was when we had lunch or a meal with the Bedouin people, and that the Bedouin family. That is something that you can't do every day. You
Mhm.
may be able to get to the Sahara and ride a camel. You may be able to go to Marrakesh, but how often are you going to actually be able to have a real meal with a Bedouin family And so those types of things actually speak to my soul, they speak to my spirit, they um help tether me to
Mhm.
other people in ways that I could not imagine. That it's just it's yeah, it's just it was an amazing experience. And to be honest with you, I don't have the words. Sometimes I think there are no words to explain a specific experiences. You just have to experience it. I definitely plan to bring all of that into my scholarship. It it's an imperative part of my scholarship because my scholarship is all about Black rhetorical practices and the ways that we commune and the
Mhm.
ways that we communicate. And
Mhm.
so that is what that experience was for me. It was a communicative, communal experience that could not have happened at any other time in any other way. And so it is definitely something that I'm going to include in my scholarship in the future.